So peeps, another day and another cheeky little breakdown for you. Now we've got a recap here on a component we've done, and it's on a breakdown. So we've got a potentiometer, and as you can see, this drive VDF is jumping from 11% right up until then jumps to 44% with no in between. So I'm guessing it's going to be the potentiometer breaking down on this drum. Now this is a real life cabinet. This ain't none of your Instagram famous kind of Ponzi looking stuff. It's all about showing you the real world, what you're going to come up against, not some polished. So I'm going to be locking off because I'm going inside the cabinet. I'm safe. I want more ledge-proof babies. Right, so what we should have on the two outer pins, I should have the 10k ohm, and then as we know, the middle one, that should be going between an outer one and the inner one. That should show us a percentage, but we're getting nothing there. So I've just taken it to do a bit of bench testing and show you. So this is 10k ohm plus 10% either way. So what I should get on the two outer pins, I should be getting 10k ohm or thereabouts. In the middle one, it should vary wherever it is on the ring. So using the ohms feature on the multimeter, I'm just going to quickly show you again that we're actually getting nothing up on the outer pins. So the red and the blue is the outer ones and the green one being our feedback. So I'm going to check the two outer ones first. That'll just give me an indicator if the actual ring is any good. And as you can see, I've got open circuit. So that's telling me that this potentiometer is buggered as it is. There's no continuity between the ring. And as you can see, twisting it, giving it a good old wangle, like your stepson does in his bedroom. Then I'm going to go to the inner ring, and there should be a percentage of wherever it's going. So within theory, you'd get 0 to 10k ohm going between the outer and the inner. And as you can see, oh no, yeah, it's jumping. So that's showing that the ring's broken itself between the negative and positive of it, but we are getting something between the inner and outer. So there's definitely a break in this ring at some point. I would imagine it's just wear and tear. The age of this machine, that knob's supposed to have been twisted more than, well, I'm not going to say I'm a married man, but you've got to get your kick somehow. And I'm going to get a good one now just to show you what it should look like. And this is the one I'm going to be replacing the old one with. So going negative to positive, and I'm getting just thereabouts. That's the 10% there, it's allowance. So we're pretty much 10k ohm there. And then going into the inner ring. Now what that would do is that's going to give you 0 to 10, and or it's going to give you, so if you had it halfway, that's going to give you 50-50, 5k ohm if you were on both, checking negative and positive. So you'll get 10k ohms either side of that. And then if you were like 20%, you're going to get 20 on one side, and then 8 kilo ohms on the other. So we're going to solder the cables from the old potentiometer and stick them onto the new one. Now you could use a solder sucker that literally just uses a vacuum with a silicon end. Put it right down there, get the solder tight, nice and hot, and now suck it up. But I do like this kind of copper webbing, dead handy. If you're using it on a PCB board, I would use a solder sucker, then use this. But if you're just trying to get cables off of a tin, then I would just, and what happens is you put your webbing over the top of it, get the webbing nice and hot, and that will use it. Now suck it up. Now draw it up like a candle wick. So when you've got a new piece of cable, always tin your ends, make your life easy, and then tin the end that you want to put it on. You don't want too much, but you want to get it completely covered. And here you are, there's a little blue Peter. How to. And we want to put some heat shrink on there. It stops any terminals ends from touching, and it just makes it a nice neat job. Was a bit of excess on there, but you can never be safe than sorry. And RCS gives a little bit more support to them cables. So I'm going to rip the old one apart, see if I can show you what's inside it, and see if we can see the break in it. Yes, I should be wearing gloves. Most part would going to stab myself, but them hands have seen some abuse. They like gloves themselves. So as you can see here, we've got our resistance strip on the outer bit, then we've got our winding in the middle. So we've obviously got a break in the winder going around that strip, and there could be a bit of arcing kind of build up on that wiper itself. But something here isn't, it's just not playing ball. But as you can see, as that wiper goes around, that's what's giving you that resistance difference. So how this is working with this VDF, the output signal is going to be 0 to 10 volts. So obviously we've got 0 to 10 volts going out to that ring, and then the input's going to be coming back at a different voltage, working on the resistance value. So as you can see, I've got positive to negative, I've got 10 volts. And now if I go to negative lead to the negative, and then my input to my red lead to the input, I should now be getting my feedback to see what the VDF is seeing and what it knows it should be running at regarding to that. So if I change the pot now, you can see I'm going up in voltage. So your 10 volts will be maximum hertz, 0 volts minimum hertz. So as you can now see, that ain't jumping, that's going up nice and gradual. So if I turn this on now, so I should be looking at that about 20% because of where it started off. And as you can see, that drum's speeding up and slowing down. And as again, this is a real life panel. It's none of your Instagram beauty. It could be brought up to the modern day, and it most part should. But if it works, so be it for now. Now if you've been watching this, you're legend approved.